Hi everyone, I've been joined by Bryan Bornmueller from Fantasy Flight Games, and you've brought something I think pretty interesting to show us here. What is this?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. This is the core set from Warhammer Diskwars. We got set up here the two sort of learn-to-play armies.
Okay.
So we can kind of show you the basics of how this game works.
Now, I just want to say very quickly here that although this is the basic setup, I did get a chance to play this already last night, and I did win. I just want to mention, so just beware here.
Well,
okay.
Nick may have been going easy on you for your first game, so we'll see how this one goes.
He might have gone a little easy on me. But listen, here's the thing that is interesting, because I could tell you, okay, we've got a game here where we're building our armies, we're going to square off on the battlefield and fight, and someone goes, okay, well, I've seen that before. This is a little different though, right? What makes this different? So
what's great is Diskwars is trying to take what's really fun about a miniatures game where you have armies and you're tactically maneuvering them around a physical space and make it a lot easier to dive right into.
Okay.
So instead of having fiddly little models, which while cool or take a lot of time, all your units are just represented by discs.
Yes.
And what's great about there, in addition to having some great art, there is everything you need to know about your unit is printed right on there. There's nothing to reference outside of the game.
Right.
So how far this guy moves, how hard he hits, how much damage he can take, what special powers he may have, all just printed right on the disc. And
with the miniatures game, one of the things, and some people like, some people don't, is you got to measure, right? If you want to move, you got to measure. Right. Well, these are discs, and I do see this ruler, but it's not for measuring, is it?
So there's a ruler here, but you're going to use that when you're attacking. When you're moving a disc, like these swordsmen here can move 5, you're just going to physically flip the disc up to 5 times across the battlefield.
Super simple.
That's how they move. And then if they're physically touching, right, that's when they're going to fight each other.
Okay. So if I want, as I'm moving my pieces, I don't have to go in a straight line though, right? I can move however I want, right? Yeah. I can change direction, I can head over here, and then I can come back around, I can move around pieces. So it does still provide all that kind of tactical maneuvering.
Which is cool, right? Yeah. As opposed to having to just move in a straight measuring tape line.
Right. Okay, well that's pretty simple. If we want, we could just maybe jump ahead, maybe a turn or two, and put our guys into slightly more combat positions here.
And I can show you how the basics go, yeah.
Perfect, all right, let's do that. So as you guys can see, we've set up the table here. Our forces are getting close to each other. Something bad is going to happen here. So to one of us, or both. How do we get started? What do we do on a turn?
So the first thing both players are going to do on a turn, you have a hand of command cards that you brought to the game. And so we're both going to pick one of these command cards. And it's going to do 3 things. It's going to determine who goes first on the turn, how many units you get to activate, and then a lot of them will have little special powers for you as well.
I know which one I'm using
already. I'm picking 2. So we pick these at the same time,
yes,
and then we'll reveal them. So I've picked a bold strategy.
I've got a devious strategy.
So devious beats bold.
Okay.
There's also steady and slow strategies.
Okay.
Bold will beat steady, and
it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors type of thing?
Rock, paper, scissors, slow, essentially. And slow always loses. Okay. But probably there's some other benefits to that card. So you've got a 3 up here, so you're going to get to activate 3 of your discs.
Okay. Well, I've got a plan you're not going to like already. All right. So you can't see it on the table yet, but you will soon. I've got a piece over here, and it's coming. All right. Yeah. So this one has a movement of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is one of the key elements of the game. Pinning is good. But pinning means you're sitting on top of the other person. It's going to prevent you from being able to move, first of all.
To do anything while I'm pinned. And then once we've activated all our units, those guys are going to fight, right?
And these guys would fight, but this guy has a special ability on him here. It's impact. Impact of 3. So as soon as he pins somebody, it's going to hit you, right?
For 3 points of damage.
Yeah, let's see how much life this guy's got.
I only have 3, so you're going to wipe me off right away.
It's a good start. I like that.
Grom is your leader there. He's a bad guy.
Now this token's important as well, right? Because I've used this troop, this unit, so now it's activated for this round.
Yep.
He won't be able to activate again until all of these guys have finished activating.
Unless you've got some sort of trick.
Right. Tricks are good. All right.
So that's one of your 3.
That is one of my 3. And I want to mention here quickly, too, the card I played does have a special ability. It says that my hero can empower a target that was within medium range. All right, well, I've got other guys I can use here. Let's see. I'm going to move this guy here. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Pin my swordsman there.
I'm going to pin you there. So I'm going to put my activation token here. I got one more unit. I'm going to move this one. Simple, like that. Another pin.
Getting your orc boys right into combat.
That's right. Well, Bryan, it's over to you. Good luck.
Yeah, so it looks like I'm going to need to use some of my crossbowmen here to try to fight back.
Right, some ranged attack.
So how a ranged attack works, My crossbowman here, he has the little triangle saying that he can do ranged attacks, and he can do it up to medium range is what's that saying. So red or orange. So I'm going to take a shot back here at your leader.
Okay.
And then the 3 black squares means I'm going to get to roll 3 of the ranged attack dice there.
This is a pure revenge move. I can see
pure
right
revenge, yes. What better way than to take out your leader here? So I roll these, and there's different results. So this is a very sad result for me. So the X's are misses. The little chaos star there's are normally misses, though sometimes they can be other fun things.
Okay.
What I was really hoping for were either some hits, which would have done 3 damage each, or some critical hits, which could have activated you.
So each of those skulls, if you'd rolled skulls, each one would have been 3. So
I could have potentially done 9 damage to you.
Okay.
Yep. And then there's also some scatters, which maybe I could have hit one of your other guys, but I missed everything. Okay. So that crossbowman's.
I know how that feels.
He's that's bad move for him.
Okay.
I also have my wizard here, who has magic. So magic's always at medium range.
All right.
And what's great about that is I don't have to roll any dice for this, which as you can see is not my strong suit. And so that's just going to do 3 damage to you.
Okay.
But the bright wizard burns himself a little bit too in the process.
Yeah, that's the problem when you play with fire. Okay.
It's true. And then I've got one more guy to activate, which is my swordsman here. So I'm going to try to go 1, 2, 3. And pin your wolf boys there.
And so that one's activated as well. Now, we have some people pinned, but they're not going to fight yet, right?
Yeah. I still have... all my people are activated or pinned, but you still have a couple more units here. So after they're activated, then we'll actually go through and resolve.
So we would typically then, I would play another card.
We'd both play more cards.
I would get to activate my guys. You wouldn't get to activate your guys, right? Because you have none left to use. And so that's, I guess, one of the advantages of going first, right? Sometimes you can get that tactical advantage, right?
For sure, right? Although sometimes with an army with lots of range attacks, maybe I want you to move in.
So to get in, so then I'm within range for you to hit me.
Yes.
Okay, right. Oh, well, listen, so why don't we activate a couple of our guys here, and then jump ahead again, and then we'll resolve these fights.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Okay, we jumped ahead once again. It's time to resolve some combat here, right? Because all of our units have activated.
Yep, everybody is activated, and so now we'll see how the pins work. So as you saw, ranged attacks use dice, but the combat, you have two statistics. If you see at the top of the disc there's 2 circles. There's a black circle that's kind of on top of a white circle. The black number is what you'll use when you're on the top of a pinning, and the white number is what you'll use when you're on the bottom of a pinning.
Simple.
Very simple, so you can resolve all these combats very, very quickly.
All right.
So over here, the swordsman against these wolf riders, I'm pinning you, so I'm going to do 4 damage, and your wolf riders are being pinned, so they're going to do 4 damage back. So we're actually going to just...
We wiped each other out.
Wipe each other out there.
Because their life value is shown in this little star, right? So,
yes.
Okay.
Yep, same shape as the little damage tokens there.
Right.
And then over here, your orc boys are pinning my swordsman, and you have a 5, I have a 3. You have 4 health. I only have 4 health as well, so your 5's going to wipe me out.
Yes.
And you'll have taken 3 damage, so you'll be still holding on.
So I just dropped it on there, and these guys can still go. It doesn't affect their ability to continue fighting.
Nope.
They're just a little closer to being wiped off the board.
Yes. And then over here, situation's very dire for me. I've got 2 different orc boys on me. The important thing to note is I can do 4 damage, but I have to pick who I'm going to be doing it to.
Right.
So you guys both have 4 health, so I'll be able to wipe one of them out, but not both of them.
Who do you want to go?
So we'll get rid of this guy here. He's a little closer.
All right.
And now the Empire's down to only 2. In this basic scenario, you're just trying to wipe the other person out.
This feels very much like my first demo game.
Yes.
These FFG guys, they know how to make you feel good about what you're doing. That's great. Now listen, we've shown a very quick overview of the basics, right? But there's quite a bit more to this, right? In terms of army building.
Yeah, so the army building is really, really neat. So these leaders here, we saw Grom with his impact attack earlier.
Yes.
When you're building your armies, you're actually going to pick 2 leaders, and they're going to tell you how many points worth of units you can bring. So Grom here can bring 35 points. This little orc shaman here costs 7.
Okay.
So you're going to build your armies based on that. And in addition to the Empire and orcs, there's a lot more units for them in the box.
Show me. We got more stuff.
There's also a Chaos Army.
Oh my goodness! Look at all this.
And a High Elf army that come in the box as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot of options for army building.
Okay.
And then when you're playing the full game as well, One of my favorite things to add is the terrain, which all has special rules for it, and really makes the board look even more like a miniatures game table when you have forests and towers and hills and ruined windmills and things.
So we played 2-player. Does this mean with these? Can you play more?
You can play with up to 4 players.
All at once?
All at once. All in a big messy scrum in the middle of the table.
Okay, and listen, I do know one little thing here. I saw just yesterday, you guys announced expansions for this, right?
Yeah. 2 expansions are going to come out at the same time. One for the destruction armies and one for the order armies. That each box has 4 more sets of discs in it. So you're going to add things like dwarves and vampire counts.
Do these add on to the armies that come in the base game?
So you're able to combine you can combine chaos and orcs in the main box, and you'll be able to mix the other armies as well. Or there's enough to be able to run full armies for each of those as well.
Well, that's really cool. Again, when I first saw this, I saw this last year. Gen Con, I think, is when you guys were demoing it
for showing it off.
Yeah, and it really captured my interest. And I really, really appreciate you taking the time to show us this as well. Hopefully you got a pretty good idea of how the game works, even with this just very simple overview. So thank you, Bryan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank all of you as well.